Today, we're going to be testing out ClickFunnels. We'll be setting up an account, walking through that setup process, looking at some of the different features and inside the platform, so you can make a decision as to whether or not this is the right platform for your business. Now, this is the first year that we've featured ClickFunnels in our annual roundup of email marketing platforms. We've been doing this since 2012. We've looked at well over 100 different email marketing platforms. We've interviewed something like 1,700 different email marketers. And from looking at all the data and looking at kind of which tools people are moving away from, which ones they're moving to, we've decided to include ClickFunnels this year, which might seem like a bit of a strange decision because ClickFunnels is not just an email marketing tool. It offers email marketing. Email marketing is a pretty big aspect of what they do. But similar in a way to HubSpot, ClickFunnels is built around this sort of premise of having one tool that you use to manage the sales funnels of your entire business. So this ClickFunnels features kind of many different sort of separate products, if you like. So things like running your landing pages, your website, your shopping cart, your membership site, CRM, and lots more. So in this review, we're going to be looking primarily and initially at email marketing, but we'll also touch on a lot of these other areas, because if you're a business thinking of using ClickFunnels, chances are you're not doing it because you need email marketing. You're doing it because you're thinking about this more from a holistic perspective, and you probably need a lot of these different areas. So we will look into a lot of these different features. But yeah, so just touching on sort of some of the pros and cons, the main sort of pro of ClickFunnels is that you're going to have all these different features in one place. So you don't need to manage, having HubSpot and Shopify and Kajabi and all these different tools. You have everything in one place. In terms of and just to sort of mention as well, that gives us a bit of a hint as to who this is right for. So ClickFunnels, although they say on their website that there is, I think they say that there's no business that this is not right for. I completely disagree with that. I think from the data that we've seen and who seems to be getting the most value out of it, ClickFunnels seems to work really well for businesses that need to rely on sales funnels to educate their prospects and their leads to get them to a point where they're ready to convert to a higher value product. So generally speaking, ClickFunnels is great if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, professional service businesses to some extent. Generally speaking, though, I think if you're in the mindset of running webinars, perhaps running a membership site, running courses, having information products, if you're already sort of thinking about these different areas and having these different mediums as a way to educate your leads, your prospects, in order to sell a high value product, then I would highly recommend having ClickFunnels as a platform that you consider. I wouldn't recommend it, for example, if you're a large kind of B2B business or even agencies to an extent, I wouldn't necessarily recommend ClickFunnels. Also, if you're just looking for email marketing software, again, I wouldn't recommend ClickFunnels. There are other tools that are going to be more cost effective. So in terms of cons of ClickFunnels, the first one is the price. So it's not the cheapest. You can look at this in two ways. One is that, if you want an email marketing platform and you have 25,000 contacts or 10,000 contacts, you'll probably, if you go to an Active Campaign or a Sendinblue or a MailChimp, you'll be able to get a platform that is much more affordable for that size of contacts. The other way of looking at it is that if ClickFunnels is going to replace you having to set up Kajabi, Shopify, WordPress, Webflow, like all these different platforms, having it in one place, maybe at that point, there's not much of a cost difference, and maybe you would actually save money with ClickFunnels. But the bottom line is it's not cheap. Given this is aimed at small businesses, this is not for a lot of businesses, this is not a small amount to be sort of, paying. So that's the main consideration. The other sort of con that I want to flag, which is it's not truly a con, there's a good and a bad side to it, but ClickFunnels does come with a bit of a brand. If you've followed Russell Brunson, the founder, or seen any of his content, you will know exactly what I mean. There is the Brit in me finds this kind of a bit difficult to work with. It's very salesy. Some have likened it to a bit cult-like. but it's a bit Marmite. You love it or you hate it. I think to give credit where it's due, ClickFunnels have a phenomenal community. If you look at some of the events that they do or some of the groups they run, they're so active. There's huge numbers of people in those communities, and frankly, ClickFunnels does work. Like the results do speak for themselves, and we can't really argue with that. But with that said, there is a bit of a salesy vibe to it. And I think you'll kind of know from looking at the website and interacting with ClickFunnels as to whether or not that's right for you. So with that said, we're going to jump in and we're going to start setting up an account. So I will flag at this point, you do need a credit card to sign up. So unlike some of the other platforms that we've tested, unfortunately, you do need to enter your credit card with ClickFunnels. So when you go to sign up, you'll go to a page like this. As you can see, we've got Pop our card in here. So I've already gone ahead and done that. So we can sort of go to next step. At this point, you get sent an email. It does take a few minutes to arrive. I think it took sort of 4 or 5 minutes for it to arrive for me, which was not great. But once you click on that, you get taken to an onboarding process. You have to enter a few more bits of information. But soon you get to a page where you pick your theme and then you get dropped into this page. So I picked this kind of dark theme, and straight away, I'm now building a landing page. I'm building my website. I don't really want to do that at this point. So I'm going to click back and just kind of see if I can get to it. So from this dashboard, we've got a few options of where we want to kind of start setting ClickFunnels up. So I'm just going to click through some of these options down the left so we can see what we've got available. So in Sites and Funnels, we can create landing pages, we can create courses, and we can set up our funnels, which in this case is not like an automation funnel. It's more a sequence of pages that we want people to go through in order to convert them. If you're using ClickFunnels as your sort of e-commerce platform, you can add your products in here. We can see the orders coming through in here. You will need to set up Payments AI if you're going to take payments through ClickFunnels. Payments AI is their payment gateway, so you'll need to set that up. Contacts, so this is just where you will import or manage your list of contacts, and we can do a mass import here. We can create segments, we can create tags so that we can sort of personalize our marketing and segment it towards different groups. And we have analytics, which will populate as we send more emails out, as we start to get data coming through our funnels and visitors onto our different pages. Marketing, so this is where most of the kind of the meat of ClickFunnels is. This is where we can set up our things like events, build our workflows, which is essentially marketing automation sequences. We also have broadcast, which is kind of one-off email campaigns, and you can manage your templates here. Then in sales, this is sort of the CRM functionality. So we have pipelines. You can see where all your leads are, at what stages in that sort of sales funnel, and also kind of track conversations that you're having, phone calls you're having, manage lead scoring so you can qualify your leads, make sure you're focusing on the right leads. So that's a kind of whistle-stop tour of the options we've got. I'm going to start looking at some of the marketing options because I think that's sort of the probably one of the main places that we'll kind of want to have a look at the features. So we can click up here to add a workflow. I'm just going to create a test one, create workflow, which should take us into the visual editor. Here we go. So if you've built marketing automation sequences in the past, this will be very familiar to you. If not, it's super intuitive and really easy to use. So the very first thing you need to do is create a trigger. Essentially, what is going to, what action will mean that someone will enter this workflow. So I'm going to say if someone opts into my VSL funnel, then we're going to create that as a trigger. So we'll turn that one on, close this, and we now have that as a trigger. So when this is true, people are going to enter this workflow. So now we can start thinking about, well, what content do we want to send them? What are the conditions? So we can do things like, I'm just going to add a few random ones. So we can add a tag to this contact. Let's just call this test. Here we go. So we add that tag. We can send them an email. We can add conditions. We can add split tests, delay. These are all pretty standard, but what I'm really kind of pleased with, and I think ClickFunnels do a really good job of, is there's such a huge focus inside ClickFunnels around A/B testing and split testing. You can split test individual emails. You can split test kind of entire sequences. If you watched my video about ActiveCampaign, I think I mentioned this is one of my favorite features in ActiveCampaign. ClickFunnels is very, very similar. They do a really good job of this. And what this ultimately means is that you can just set up lots and lots of tests across your entire sales funnel, which means while you're sleeping, your sequences, your sales funnels are just optimizing themselves, and you can have this sort of test-based mindset, knowing that your marketing can always improve. As long as your kind of test hypotheses are good, then your marketing should continue to sort of optimize in the background. So we've got kind of a few interesting options here. We've got a lot of these are pretty standard, but if we look down the bottom here, we've got things like enroll customer in courses. So super helpful if you are running courses. Webhooks, this will just kind of help if you are connecting ClickFunnels to other platforms. We've got some integration options. Looks like coming soon we've got create affiliates. Other than that, these are all pretty standard options. So I'm going to jump out and take a quick look at the email campaigns. In fact, actually what I'm going to do is look at it from the workflow. So if I go over here and add an email as a step in my workflow, it's going to encourage me to choose a template and start building an email out. So we click design email, we can start to look at all the different templates that ClickFunnels offers. ClickFunnels templates are really nice, surprisingly nice. Having reviewed a lot of these different email marketing platforms, a lot of platforms templates are a bit of an afterthought, whereas I think because ClickFunnels, the whole sort of focus is around helping you convert more leads and convert more customers, the templates make all the difference. At the end of the day, if the templates aren't great, then you're not going to perform as well. So really pleased to see that these are really nicely designed. I feel like with most of them, I could use these without needing to kind of call my designer in. They're really, really nicely done. So I'm going to just choose this template. I think I clicked that. Let me just double check. Yeah, that looks like it just took a second to load. Let me just do that again. Let's choose this one. So we can create the email. I'm just going to obviously put some dummy data in here for now. And we can create that step. Okay, so I'm going to go and have a look now at some of the functionality around creating landing pages and things like funnels. So if we go over here, we can click down to pages. I'm just going to create a very simple page just to sort of get a bit of a feel for the user interface and how this all works. So we've got a couple of different options of templates. These all look really nice, similarly to the email templates. They're all really nicely designed. There's not an overwhelming amount of options, but it looks like we do have quite a few. So I'm just going to start with a sales page. So let's click here. And presumably this is going to take me, when I click this, onto the page editor. So I think this is just a pretty standard WYSIWYG editor where we can sort of directly, type, drag things around, move it. I just want to kind of have a bit of a play here, just because I know sometimes these WYSIWYG editors can be a bit all over the place and have a mind of their own. So this seems pretty good. Everything is kind of doing as I sort of expect. Kind of, if I drag things around, yeah. So I don't think there's going to be sort of too many issues using this. Looks like we can sort of easily test this on mobile. We can test it on desktop. We can access the CSS, the HTML, JavaScript. So you can customize this until your heart is content. Nice. So we've got undo, redo. In terms of kind of adding elements, so if we click here, we can see all the different elements that we've got available to us. We've got all the sort of standard things, so buttons, images, videos, text, etc. But we've also got some pretty interesting ones as well. So if it's an e-commerce page, we can pull in things like checkout information, price, can insert pay now, like buy it now buttons, podcast links, course sidebar. So I really like that ClickFunnels have kind of got all these sort of niche-ish elements, because these are all the sort of things where, with a lot of other landing page builders, you'd be able to kind of add the buttons, the images, the the text, but for all this kind of stuff, you'd have to reach out to your developers to get them to build this stuff. So with ClickFunnels, it just kind of strikes me they really kind of know their audience. They know what sort of things you're going to likely to use, and then they've built these as pre-built elements. So that's really nice. And yeah, one other thing I do want to kind of test is, so I can see this says desktop only. So that's quite nice that you can sort of hide blocks on different devices. So in terms of how we do that, if I go to this element settings, so at the bottom here, we've got the visibility, so we can sort of select all, we can have it on mobile only, desktop only, and that's quite helpful because if you have these kind of big images or sort of big non-essential blocks of information, being able to hide that on smaller devices is going to help improve that experience. So yeah, overall, I'm really quite happy with. I think the visual editor is intuitive, but also feels reasonably advanced. I don't feel like there's too much I wouldn't be able to do here. And the starting point, the templates are pretty well designed. So yeah, that looks pretty good. So let's take a look at funnels. So if I jump out of pages and go here, so I previously mentioned funnels and ClickFunnels are, in fact, let me just pause that there. You've got two options when it comes to funnels. You can use a pre-built recipe or you can create your own. So here you can see the pre-built templates are pretty basic. I think they're more sort of for inspiration purposes rather than trying to kind of help save time. They're all sort of 3-4 step funnels. But for today, I'm going to create a funnel from blank. So let's just give this a name. And the way to think of funnels in ClickFunnels is it's essentially a sequence of pages that you want your prospects or your leads to go through to kind of educate them to the point where they're ready to kind of convert. So we can go here, create a page. I'm just going to go for, let's try an opt-in page. Test, give this a bit of information. We've got some SEO information here, which is good. I can edit the title tags and the meta descriptions, so I can create that page. We can also add splits in this. So if you want to segment your audience and say, maybe leads who are in this industry or who've engaged with a certain product, maybe we sort of send them down a different funnel compared to the people who, have a different criteria. So we can sort of split this and make it sort of more personalized and segmented. Another thing that, as with the email templates that ClickFunnels will do really well, is every single thing can be split tested. So we can split test the pages, we can split test entire sections of the funnel, which is, if you watch my video on ActiveCampaign, that's one of my favorite features in ActiveCampaign. So to see it executed similarly in ClickFunnels is really nice. So I'm going to jump out of the funnels. I think the gist of that is pretty similar. One thing I didn't show, just to sort of not duplicate, is that when we're kind of in those funnels, if you want to edit those pages, it's the exact same page editor that we were just on. So if you want to change this page, click it and we get taken to the same page editor. So yeah, all the sort of same changes that you want to make, it's the same as before. So we're going to jump out of that and take a quick look at some of the e-commerce features. So here in products, we can add products. So I'll just create a dummy one here. So we can sort of set the price. We can make it a subscription. We can tell people that it used to be more expensive. And then presumably we can then add this product onto the pages that we create in our funnel. And when sales start coming through, we can see that coming through here in the orders. We can also then, a lot of the analytics in ClickFunnels are sort of based around sales of those products. So we can get a lot of reporting on where those sales are coming from, sales by product, sales by funnel, and sort of how things like our courses and our different sort of marketing mediums are affecting those sales. So one last thing I will touch on, I'm not going to sort of spend too much time here, but in terms of contacts, so you've got a few options. You can import your contacts through like a CSV file, or you can add them manually up here. So just to kind of show you the view of this, if we just do a quick test one, test Adventure Harbor, test name, let's give it some dummy data, test co, and then we can add a tag. Here we go. So just create a contact. The main thing I kind of want to see here is sort of this contact view. So if we view this full page, I always like to kind of look at this with tools, because I think this is a view that you'll often be looking at, and to be able to sort of know like what information do you get at a per contact level is pretty crucial. So this is sort of a hybrid between like a CRM view and a sort of billing history view. So we can see things like the payment method. We can see what kind of orders they've made, what courses they've enrolled in, where they are in that course, and what assets they've got available to them. We'll also, once they enter our different workflows and receive campaigns, we'll be able to kind of see how they've kind of interacted with those here. So in general, this is pretty good. It feels lightweight. It feels like it's not too overwhelming, but all the kind of crucial information I would need to know about any given person in my CRM, in my database, it feels like I can get it here. So I think this is pretty well executed from ClickFunnels. It's not as overwhelming as some other tools like HubSpot and to a lesser extent ActiveCampaign, but it feels like it's serving a different purpose. It's kind of a bit more focused on the order information. So for now, I'm going to leave it there. I would love to, if you have any questions or experiences with ClickFunnels, I'd love to hear from you. So please do drop a comment below if you have any questions or anything you want me to kind of explore further. And yeah, like I say, any experiences, good or bad, would love to hear from you. And yeah, hope that's been helpful. I'll also drop a link below if you want to set up an account with ClickFunnels, give them a test run. We really appreciate any support using those links. We do receive a commission. It doesn't affect our editorial process at all, but we do receive a commission from them. We just want to be open and transparent about that. But yeah, we do really appreciate it if you are happy to use that. But yeah, I hope that this setup guide has been useful, and yeah, until next time. Cheers.